What a way to start an episode, but, bittersweet, celebrating a legend's life. If only we could be promised to live 91 amazing years. Celebrating Coach Gus or honoring that great life. That was an incredible ceremony. You could tell everyone from UT to the family of Coach Cliff Gustafson and the baseball family and so many of Coach Gus's former players at Texas had their hand in that. And Tess, that was something special. I want to give a rough estimate. Maybe 1,000 people were there at the Disch.
That's awesome. That's incredible.
Late. That was amazing. I don't even know how to put in words. Is there, as we begin this 19th installment with Tess, is there anything you remember growing up? Because I think we're all human. We take certain things for granted, not on purpose, but that's just one guy we thought would be around forever. But growing up, what did you know about Coach Gus being a Austin girl?
Just obviously a huge figure for the University of Texas and in the baseball world. And kind of like, I hate to compare things, but kind of like a DKR.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
17 trips to Omaha, 2 national championships, was in position to probably win 4 or 5 other national championships. That 80s, Texas was the program. Dominant. I mean, right. They played. There were 3 years in a row, I believe, they played in the national championship game.
Yeah, I feel like baseball's always been pretty good.
Always. Tradition rich. And Coach Gus, that was beautiful yesterday. But go to our social media sites, that being at Stories Man Cave on Twitter, the IG page as well, Facebook, photos with a video you just saw, and there's another one. But what was really special was going to Schultz's Beer Garden afterwards, and a room full of everybody that was coached by Coach Gus at Texas.
That's awesome.
Coming in town. Look at this. The 223rd episode, the 19th with Tess. Of course, our guys at AC, Honest AC and Plumbing. They're always here for you. They are Texas diehards as well. There's an Aggie in there, I believe, but we won't hold that against them. Be sure to get those heaters and furnace. Yeah, good people. Aggies are good people too.
They are.
Get the heaters installed, whatnot, maintenance, Honest AC and Plumbing. Fine Americans over there, and they're a big fan of Tess Sawyer as well in that office. Tess, the TCU debate. I don't know why people are still talking about it. We're going to dive into this, but when you see something negative about TCU because of what happened 65-7 in that national championship game against the defending national champs, what's your response to when people have brought that to your attention that TCU did not belong?
Well, they still got there.
Yeah.
So, regardless if they did or they didn't, they managed to get there and someone else did not. So
that's right.
That's why it's a game, and that's why there's scores and all the other things. So I think the person that won the games deserved to be there, and that was them. Was it a miserably boring national championship? Yes. It was terrible.
It was.
It was like watching paint dry. But it was disappointing. I wish it would have been closer, but, I think they deserve to be there, and that's just how good Georgia is.
Yeah, they are that good. And their head coach, if you've never been in a locker room for a pregame speech, most of them are magical, intense. I think everyone needs to be in a locker room or be around a truly devoted coach and hear a message. Most of you watching will not be offended because you wouldn't be watching this podcast. But I think everyone needs a pregame speech in their lives every week. And don't be offended. We all need motivation. We need accountability in this world. But I think it's nothing against Sonny Dykes or TCU. And I want to preface this by saying, don't play this. I want to turn your volume down, or just don't play the rest of this if you're at work or around young kids. I love these speeches. I love football coaches. I love it. It's what I'm about to play. If you've not seen it already, is on the same lines as Augie Garrido's speech after they lost and played a horrible game, horrible series, and he lit into the Texas baseball team after that, and they responded with, I think, 16 consecutive wins or something like that. But this is Kirby Smart talking to his defending champions, and all I'm going to say is TCU was probably doomed as soon as Kirby Smart finished this speech right here. I have nothing against this. Again, if you're offended by language, fast forward, don't watch, or turn your volume down. This is Kirby Smart in the national title game before they took the field against TCU.
Trust your preparation. Go. Your ass is prepared for this shit for fucking 365 days. I think about them fuckers in that locker room. Think about getting our opportunity. All the shit you went through this week to get ready for this game, now is when you pay the fucking price. You go out there with energy, enthusiasm. Hey, guys, ain't nobody in this room should be cautious. Ain't nobody in this room should be nervous about shit. Go out here and fuck their ass up. Don't think about scoreboard. Don't think about shit. You think about knocking the shit out of them. Did you hear what Box said on Monday? When I sat in that fucking meeting, I wanted to go fucking play right then. Tore your shit up out here. 2 years ago, fucked your shit up. Goddamn pride and joy tells me you fuck these guys up. You go play the right way. You play the right way. You knock their ass off. You stay off the fucking ground. You tackle the fucking man with a ball. The shit's easy. Look at the right shit. Punish their ass on offense and kick their ass on special teams, guys. It's about who the fuck we are. I believe in you. Let's go.
I guarantee Sonny Dykes had a pretty emotionally driven speech as well. There's no doubt. Right. But that right there, that's when I think that may have been the difference, because Georgia was quite visibly the more physical team. But TCU, there's no doubt they belong in that game. And this is Max Duggan after the game this past Monday. What went wrong?
I don't think that's going to define, all the good memories and all the success that we had, this season to, project and put this program going in the right direction and moving forward. I think that was the biggest thing of, this program's moving in the right way or in the right direction. There were so many great memories.
So when you see that, I mean, do you think for people sustainability is hard for any program, but do you think TCU can sustain that type of success?
No.
Not at all. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean,
I don't think so.
I think this was a fluke. I mean, not a fluke. I think they deserve to be there, but I don't think you're going to see TCU in a national championship ever again in our lifetime.
That's fair. That's fair.
Will they be in the playoffs? Will they win the Big 12? Maybe.
Yeah.
Going to the Natty, it's not ever going to happen.
That's a solid take, and I respect that. That I see TCU being. I mean, listen, this run this year and making it to the CFPs did spike their recruiting. They've recruited well under Gary Patterson. And no offense to GP. He is now Dennis Francione is the one that got that program going when they won the Sun Bowl. I forgot who it was against USC. Mm-hmm. And then Francione kept on, and then Gary Patterson took over and brought stability to that program. They won a Rose Bowl, for God's sakes. I mean, mm-hmm. Yeah, they're a good program. I think they beat Wisconsin a few years back. Mm-hmm. TCU is going to be in the upper half of the Big 12. Always, almost always. A 5-7 season, I think, is a fluke for TCU. They're going to always be in contention in that 7-9 win type season.
Yeah, I agree. I think they'll always be, a factor. I feel pretty confident saying that I don't see them going to the national championship.
Oh, that's fair. It's a rarity. We witnessed history. We really did.
We did.
I think once every 4 years, they'll make a run at a New Year's Six, maybe CFP. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say never to the national championship, but it's going to be very rare. Very rare. One last piece on the whole TCU subject. Javad from WFA, a friend of mine. This is his take in the Dallas-Fort Worth market to all the negativity, all the people saying TCU didn't belong. And I think this is a fair take. It's pretty much saying what you and I have said. But Jonah, I respect his work. This is his little commentary on the Horned Frogs program, what they just achieved.
Let's set the record straight. TCU belonged in the college football playoff because, in case you forgot, they beat Michigan in the semifinal. They played an undefeated team on a neutral site with a smaller fan base, and then they dropped 51 on Michigan's head. The same Michigan team that smoked Ohio State, the same Ohio State team that almost beat Georgia in the playoff semifinals. So yeah, TCU got boat raced by Georgia, but that does not diminish at all the games that led up to it and an entire season of football. Last I checked, that still matters. Alabama deserved to be in and over TCU. Give me a break. Alabama couldn't even make the championship game in its own conference. And let's not forget the Tide lost by 15 to Georgia in last year's title game. Wow, 2-touchdown loss. So much more competitive. It's not about deserving. It's about earning.
I didn't hit record.
Oh my God, I would be so pissed.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Let's set the record straight. TCU belonged in the college football playoff because, in case you forgot, they beat Michigan in the semifinal. They played an undefeated team on a neutral site with a smaller fan base, and then they dropped 51 on Michigan's head. The same Michigan team that smoked Ohio State, the same Ohio State team that almost beat Georgia in the playoff semifinals. So yeah, TCU got boat raced by Georgia, but that does not diminish at all the games that led up to it and an entire season of football. Last I checked, that still matters. Alabama deserved to be in and over TCU. Give me a break. Alabama couldn't even make the championship game in its own conference. And let's not forget the Tide lost by 15 to Georgia in last year's title game. Wow, 2-touchdown loss. So much more competitive. It's not about deserving. It's about earning.
The clips are still dragging.
It's a valid point. Valid point. I mean, you can't disagree. That pretty much summarizes, not saying everyone's opinion, they're entitled to it, but Jonah's right. That's the summary. When you look at the body of work, who beat who, TCU deserved it. Great season. They recruit to it. It's a great piece of history. We're going to talk about common opponents. Alabama barely beat Texas and Austin. TCU took everything they had to beat Texas and Austin on Texas' worst offensive performance of the year by far.
Right.
Ohio State. Look what Michigan did to them. So, Jonah Javad, great piece of work, my friend. And I think I'm very positive Tes is on your side of the argument. Let's be sensible here. Let's be logical about it all.
Yeah, I know. I'm definitely on his side.
So right here, the final top 10 from Stories Inside the Man Cave, the top 10 and 4 on the outside. I mean, not too much needs to be said about this. This is, I mean, it's a little different than the final one of the CFP. Tes, do you see, I mean, I know Alabama was not in the CFP, but what they did to the Big 12 champions and what TCU did in that final, I don't see anything. I mean, do you see anything wrong with Alabama going into the top 4 to end the season?
No, I mean, I mean, there might be a little debate about 3, 4, and 5, but in that order. But no, everything else looks pretty good to me. I like Washington's 8, mainly because we lost to them. So I love that. At least we lost to a number 8 team. I thought they were better than 12 when we played them.
Yeah.
So no, I mean, I think the only thing that might be debatable is the organization of 3, 4, and 5, but they all need to be in the 3, 4, and 5. It might be changed up a scotch.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, a lot of people say, well, you got to rank the top 4 how they were in the playoff. No, my opinion is, I'm not saying those people are wrong. My opinion is that's what the rankings were for the CFP in the semifinals and championship. This is the final poll of the year.
This is the results.
Yeah, the post. So that's, I mean, no denying who's number one. I do think Ohio State is the number 2 team in the country.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I don't think not many will disagree with that unless you just hate Ohio State.
So that's many.
Yeah, exactly. But they do have a really good club and really good program right there. But hey, just a reminder, you can find us on another outlet, hornfm.com. That's 1049 The Horn in Austin, Texas. They have a podcast link of a group of podcasts, their family of podcasts, and we just so happen, very fortunate to be a part of that. Go to hornfm.com, scroll down to the podcast link, click on it until you see us, Stories Inside the Man Cave. Every episode you can see it actually links to our YouTube page. All right, Hook'em football, recruiting, Tess Sawyer. There's been a few developments, for back-to-back top 5 classes. The second part of the national signing period will be in February, that used to be the only one. Texas is cleaning up house, and they're doing a really good job. I would suspect a few more in February, but you've been speaking highly of this DB that committed. I remember you were asking me, you were really excited about it, and I was like, oh my God, I didn't know anything about it, and you brought it to my attention.
He actually had a lot of really good schools that wanted him.
Yeah.
And he went with us. And he called us Texas University.
Yeah. If you'll notice a lot of these recruits, they'll say, like, I noticed this, University of Stephen F. Austin. I've noticed that. Some of the recruits, I'm like, okay, they're just putting it out on Twitter. I get it. It's wrong. But, yeah, there's a lot of excitement about Jelani and Jalen Catalon, the big physical defensive back from Arkansas.
Right.
He was one of the guys. Oh, my God. Use the transfer portal. That's going from one rival to the other. That's funny to me. Big defensive tackle for Oklahoma State, and we'll get to them in a minute. Transferred from Oklahoma State to OU. That's crazy. So I did want to point out this. We'll get to there's assistant. This time of year so active on the recruits, transfer front, and the assistant coaches. And speaking of OSU, the portal is active in Stillwater. I don't know what's going on. Upwards of 22 to 24 OSU Cowboys have entered
mass exodus
the portal. I mean, what does that tell you? Is that just to you, the in-deep, dedicated college football fan? Does that mean this is just the norm, or do you think there's more to that with Mike Gundy and his program?
No, I think something stinks to high heaven. I don't know what it is, but to have a massive departure like that is not good.
No.
And it's not a good look.
No.
It's not a good look, Cowboys.
No.
And that's going to be challenging.
Yeah. It
Basically
will navigate
have an entire new team. But I think that team is a little pissed off because when they started out, there was talk about them going to the CFP.
Early in the year, yeah. That's right.
You remember that. And
Yeah.
they were definitely going to win the Big 12. And then it was just not even a question. And then they, everything just went to shit.
Yeah.
And they actually did worse than they really have in a really long time. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it. I mean, it had to have.
Well, they beat Texas on a day in which Quinn Ewers could not complete a pass. I mean, he had like 32 incompletions.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of speculation there. But after that win over Texas, that's when the decline started. Keep in mind, it's really hard to criticize Mike Gundy for what he has done for that program. I mean, they're nationally relevant because of him. I mean, they had a national title type of team in 2011. And
he created an entire hair trend.
Oh, yeah, he did. Love it. And the mullet has taken on a life of its own. So even their quarterback, Spencer Sanders, who seems like he's been there for a decade, he decided to enter the portal. Okay.
I know. I think I told you that. And I think you were like,
Yeah,
WTF?
yeah, I was. I was like, what the hell? From what all I've heard, Spencer is a great guy, a good teammate. Apparently, he announced his intentions, but then the team went to Arizona, and I think Spencer may have had a change of heart. So a buddy of mine who's been on, he's an OSU expert, does sideline reporting for their games. He was on Sirius XM radio trying to tell folks what is happening or what happened on the Spencer Sanders front. And this is, I'm not going to say it's fact, but I trust Rob.
And you had Gunnar Gundy that needed elbow surgery and wanted to get it done so he could get rehabbed and back in time for the spring. And he went ahead and had the surgery. Well, the next day was the day the portal opened. Spencer went in and didn't show up at practice. And basically kind of the word was Spencer wants to go on and look for where he's going and doesn't want to worry about practice, and he wants to move on. Okay, you want to move on, great. Then with 9 practices into the bowl prep, I was told he reached out to somebody in the program, one of the coaches, and said, look, can I come back and still play in the bowl game? Well, at that point, they'd had the 9 practices at home. They'd sent the players home to spend a couple of days with family for Christmas. They were going to meet back in Arizona. And I think Mike just said, look, you've decided to move on. We've decided to move on. Let's move on. And then I heard that he tried even after the bowl game and said, hey, what's the chances that I can, come back? And at this point, I think Mike Gundy and the staff had decided we're going to look for something different. And I think they had kind of said goodbye to the Spencer Sanders era.
I don't know. It sounds legit. I mean, that's a lesson in life. If you're going to commit to a decision, I know we second guess, and that may have been this, what happened with Spencer. But if you make that decision, you got to stick with it, honor it. And if that's the fact, I don't blame Gundy for saying, listen, this is what you want. We can't keep going back and forth. It's not a knock on Spencer, but I have a feeling, Tess, that if that is the case and some of the team, other guys who transferred are doing it in spite of Gundy, maybe, I don't know, of not letting him back.
Right. It may be, like a retaliation.
Yeah. This is part of what has been created by listen, I'm a huge advocate of NIL and the portal. We just need to find some boundaries and manage it better. I've had people here tied to the UT NIL. They definitely have said there needs to be some boundaries pretty quick because the shit's getting out of control. Meaning unnamed players requesting raises, so to speak. Not in those terms.
I would have no idea who you're talking about.
I don't know. I really don't. But
and I'm being totally facetious. So.
I know. I sensed it. I can smell it, your facetiousness. But it has nothing to do with Texas. It has nothing to do with Oklahoma State. It's the system currently. But in this
I think they need to figure it out sooner than later. Or it's going to be complete AWOL.
Yeah. It needs to be in place. I'm all for it, but this needs to be a legislative or a decision and reconfigure the boundaries.
Agreed.
Right. So this time of year is also coaching changes. The assistant coaches are looking out for their backs. And I'm looking across. Texas doesn't need a DB coach. They need a receivers coach. Coach Marion now goes to be the OC at UNLV. But it got me thinking, who would be some of the hottest names that you're going to be seeing on other staffs or could be the next coordinator? There's so many names, but I'm thinking here locally. I'm driving in closer to the 512. There's a guy named Aaron Fletcher. Just let go with the staff at Arizona State. He has a multi-year contract, though. This guy, and I hope anyone in Texas listening, P5 programs, I mean, he's coached at Tulsa, Missouri, now Arizona State. He's from Austin, incredibly connected, incredibly accomplished. Man, if Sark ever needs a new DB coach at any point, or a co-defensive coordinator this guy, and I even got pictures. And I'm just thinking, and I know that
you got a T-shirt, Team Fletcher.
Team Fletcher, and the guy is from an incredible family. He has been a guy who's been active in the social injustice movement, but from an educational point of view, really documented that what a lot of people don't know when he was at the University of Tulsa, really learned the story about the Tulsa massacre. That's kind of swept under the rug in history books. But it's just part of his story. The guy is a tremendous human. He's an Austin guy. And having an Austin guy who's working his way up, thank God, because of the brutal industry, he has a multi-year contract, even though he's unemployed at the moment. But I'm really, if anyone in Texas sees this or is on a staff, even in the region of the country, there's so many great coaches. And I think we're going to start seeing Aaron Fletcher pop up a little more. The guy's on the free agent market. He's just one of many. But I have a feeling this guy may be one of the next big names you see in the coaching industry as far as co-DC or DC soon.
I think that sounds interesting, exciting, and great.
Oh, my God. So I did want to pull it up, even though it's not exactly what you want to see, but I thought you had a tremendous effort this year.
No, I know why you want to pull it up, so you can shove it in my face.
No, it's not. Because
Salt in the wound.
I had too many losses to brag about this.
Okay.
I had 36 losses. 36 losses on the year.
Well, I had 47, so, I mean.
Yeah. Picking them with Tes, final standings. 11 game difference. She did pretty good in her true freshman season. But
you did say that.
I did. But if you don't enter the portal. We don't want that. We don't want you to follow in suit like so many people do. So that's been fun. I mean, if you could change one thing about it, what would it be?
I think there was kind of some, when we did the no-name teams and things like that, I probably should have done a little bit more of my homework like you scolded me for. So I don't know if it was a scolding. It was a hand pat. And I should have probably done a little bit better research to make a better pick. Because I think some of those I was just kind of like, oh, that one. And that probably isn't the best way to do things if you want to win. So, now I know. I mean, it was my maiden voyage, It was my true freshman year.
It was your true freshman year. Mm-hmm. And in 3 games below 500, it's not bad considering it was your first time doing it. My goal is to hit 60 to 65 wins next year.
Okay. My goal is just to beat you.
That's it. So what do I earn for this? I have no clue except pride. I don't know.
I'll buy you a hot dog.
A hot dog. Hot dog.
Not cock dog. Hot dog.
Hot dog. Oh, wow. Jeff Traylor is head coach of UTSA. The guy is funny. Everybody keeps asking, why don't you take a bigger name job? Because I know he has job offers, what he's done at UTSA. This was his short, but yet simple and comical response why he hasn't so far.
I'm not going to be able to spend all the money they give me at UTSA. What do I need all that other money for?
That's hilarious.
Well, I mean, you can't blame him.
I'll just send him my Christmas list.
Yeah.
That'll take care of a big chunk.
Coach Traylor, add Tes on your Christmas list. I'll just take
I've been a very good girl.
She's been a good girl after 11 days or 12, whatever we are here in January of 2023.
Yeah, I've pretty much already blown it in day 13, but
Day 13. It's Friday the 13th, by the way. The evening of. You'll see this when you see this. This is Saturday morning. Yeah. So, Coach Traylor, just add us to your list, man. Hey, well, we respect you because there's not many coaches like you. Everyone's always looking to move up, regardless of. I get it. You want to maximize your earning potential. There's no doubt about it. We all are looking at the same way. Hey, you know what time it is? Man, it is playoff time in the NFL. All right, Tess, big weekend. Actually, what does it tell you that they put the Cowboys game, the NFL Wildcard playoff game with the Cowboys on Monday night? What does that tell you?
That they want the Cowboys out of the playoffs.
Well, it tells me that that they're going to draw a lot of eyeballs. It's going to be the most visible game, and it's going to have the highest ratings whenever the Cowboys are on. But
that's right.
They got to face Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. The Cowboys.
They didn't really want that to happen.
No. And now the Bucs aren't that great. They did enough to win their division with a not so great record. Mm-hmm. Cowboys, I believe, are 12-5. Great year. But intuitively, what is your intuition telling you about what's going to happen in Tampa? Will the Cowboys right the ship, so to speak, and get it together and steamroll Tampa Bay? Do what they're supposed to do, even though it's on the road.
I think it's going to be difficult.
Yeah.
And Tom Brady is a slippery little sucker, and it's going to be tough. And you know what? I want them to win. I'm definitely cheering for the Cowboys. I'm pulling for them. I think it's going to be hard, but if they pull it off, it'll be impressive.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
You can do it. It's just going to be hard.
Yeah, they can do it. They have all the tools to do it. So
sure.
I have to admit I was wrong about something. I became too invested as a fan, and I actually went to Twitter and blamed and pointed out the deficiencies of Dak Prescott in a negative way. Okay.
So he's not sending you a Christmas card this year?
No, I'm off the list.
Okay.
I was pointing out the fact that his incompletions, his 2 interceptions last game, mm-hmm. But I look back, and a lot of those, I'm not saying all, he's thrown an interception in every game he's played, and he was out for 5 games due to injury.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's tied the record for the most interceptions, and that's only in 12 games. 12 games. But I was wrong. I was wrong because some of those interceptions were because of the receivers. The receivers are at fault for more than half of those interceptions. Whether it be a receiver.
Placed all the blame on Dak.
I did. Dak has I think he's improved.
Take it back.
Take it back. I'm just saying I'm wrong. I was wrong. All right, our friends at manscaped.com. Wonderful products for Monday Night Football playoffs. You need to be trimmed. Your balls will appreciate it. Get your balls trimmed, okay? Or do it before the Super Bowl, because those Super Bowl parties, you never know. You just need to be prepared.
It could be the time when you're going to meet the love of your life.
And you don't want them to say negative on a second date because you resemble the German Black Forest below the belt.
That's right.
Yeah. Manscaped.com product. Yeah. Yeah, use that promo code, Tess. Tell all your friends, your
Muff
family.
Trim 20. No, I'm kidding.
Love Trim. Man Cave 20. Hey, we're going to take a break. We have gone through a lot of topics, but on the other side, we've got a special birthday tribute. Special birthday tribute and the Longhorns here at home, man, we saw an epic comeback. And I thought that really was a statement considering what all that program has been through here in the month of December. That's on the other side of this break. For all of your insurance needs, look no further than our primary sponsor, Jim Saxton State Farm Insurance Agency. The ATX OG has been insuring Austin for over 3 decades. And get this, Jim Saxton is a Longhorn legacy. He is the son of the late, great James Saxton, who was a Heisman finalist. Be sure to give him a call, or better yet, visit his website, saxtoninsurance.com, and tell him that the stories inside the Man Cave Boys recommend.
This is JJ Gotch, CEO of the Austin Gamblers, and segment 2 of Stories Inside the Man Cave is next.
Hi there, Rebecca, and all your friends. This is Steve Spurrier, your former head ball coach back in the 90s and early 2000 here at the Florida Gators. Your good friend Forrest has asked me to give a shout out to all of you and invite you and your best friends to one of the world's best birthday parties. Rebecca is going to be 40 here real soon on January the 28th, and they're going to have a big party to celebrate that. It's going to be reminiscent of a throwback party back in the 2000s when we were all at the Florida Gator football games and usually winning those games, as you well remember. So happy number 40 to Rebecca. You guys have a big party. Let's hope the Gators get back winning.
So we need some context to that. That's the old ball coach cameo. That a quick way to make a little cash. But everybody loves Steve Spurrier. He was who groomed Bob Stoops and so many other coaches to be who they are. So he was sending out a birthday shout out to one of your good friends, right?
Correct. Miss Rebecca, who I will say loves the Florida Gators just as much as I love the Texas Longhorns. I know that doesn't seem possible, but she's my doppelganger in the SEC. And anyway, it is her 40th birthday. Coach Spurrier was correct about the party date, which is the 28th, but her actual birthday is the 25th. So she will be turning the big 4-0. It's a very monumental occasion, and I will be there to celebrate her and with all of her friends, and I'm thrilled to be there to do that with her because she was there for my 40th birthday, which was last week.
Last week?
Mm-hmm.
Your 40th was last week. That's right. I got
I just turned 40. So I'm only older than Rebecca by like a week. So.
Well, you don't. I mean, I had these. You saw the look of, wait a minute, did I miss your birthday? Holy crap.
You know I'm jerking your chain. But anyways, I think we're going to have a great time. And I thought Forrest is Rebecca's husband.
Yeah.
And her friend, yeah. A little bit more than that. But he's the one who coordinated that for her 40th. And that was part of the invitation for her birthday, which I thought was just cool as shit. So I shared it with you so we could share it on the pod because I thought, what a cool thing. That would be the equivalent of a Texas football coach telling me happy birthday. So
I think that's
one of these days.
That's awesome. Hey, happy birthday, Rebecca.
Happy birthday, Rebecca.
40. And your good friend, Forrest. What a fine American thing to do. We get the big gator chomp for her. Yeah. Spurrier is a fine American, the old ball coach, Forrest. Yeah, I think one day you'll be more than friends with Rebecca.
He can only dream.
Only dream. Hey, this past 6 weeks or so, man, the Texas basketball program has been through a lot. As a player, what would be running through your mind?
I really have a lot of don't know if I want to say sympathy for those kids and the whole program in general, because I think they've been dragged through the ringer on no discourse of their own, and it's kind of sad to watch. I'm glad that they're hanging on and doing what they have, but they have really had some challenging things happen to them. And, what a strong, great group of kids and coaches that are, keeping it going despite this crazy things that have occurred this season. So I just, I commend them. I'm actually going to watch them play Baylor on my actual birthday. I don't want to steal Rebecca's glory, because my birthday, it was last week, but I turned 40. But I'm going on. I'm going to watch them. I've already seen them play live once this year, and I'm thrilled. So I love Unity Center. I love Texas basketball, and I can't wait to watch them. And I just want them to hold on, and just get through this season. And I think a lot of things will be better next year. I don't see how they could be any worse. So,
well, I'll say this: you and I went to that game you're talking about, and we had some post-game festivities, and I think the vibe is still there. This program, who knows? I honestly feel like they're still a Final Four type of team. There is no doubt in my mind. But as you know, it doesn't matter how good you are. It requires a good run of luck to make it through the field of 68 to the final weekend. There's absolutely no doubt about that. And it is – they have all the pieces. And especially after what we just witnessed this past week against another good team. By the way, the Big 12 is so effing good in basketball. There is no off week, and it's been that way for a while. But Texas was down by 18 points, and this happened.
A timer. Carr for three. Yes! His first triple of the night!
That's our game plan. That's our offense, to pop the ball, and whoever's eating that night is eating.
I know. I was texting with a friend, and they were like, "Are you watching this shit?" And then they later, after the end of the game, they were like, "Okay, I need to pipe down. That was fine." So, all right, but yeah, the coming back is harder than just winning outright, I think. In all sports, but in basketball by 18 points, I mean, that is pretty amazing. And I agree with you too. I think this is a top 4 team. And that is why this whole occurrence makes it so just, why?
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean?
TCU has come a long ways. And Jamie Dixon has really done a phenomenal job building that program. Kansas State's good. TCU's good. Kansas is great again. Oklahoma.
Yeah, Baylor's good. I mean, Tech is good.
Tech is 0-4.
Yeah,
Can you believe that? In the Big 12.
Do what?
Can you believe Tech hasn't won a Big 12 game yet?
No, because they're usually like a force to be reckoned with. I mean, it's maybe they're hurting from some of the maybe they received a little bit of the earthquake that was heard around University of Texas started in Terrytown. But I mean,
the thing is
the origin of the quake.
Right. Chris Beard, Chris Beard he'll land on his feet, but that's not what this is about. This is about this team. It's no longer about Chris Beard.
I want people to. I think it's gotten better, but stop talking about him in the game, especially because the focus should be the players.
Yeah,
and the current coaches, and that is done. It may not be totally done, but it's gone. It's over. Let's move on down the road and let's do what we're here to do, and that's win basketball games and have a good season.
in a great conference. I think at least 6 teams from the Big 12 will end up in the field of 68, maybe 7. This league is so loaded, and even
March Madness is going to be in fuego this year.
It's going to be so much fun.
Wait for March Madness. Oh my gosh!
Whenever you get a chance, I will say this: Timmy, he's good. There's so many great players to watch, but watch Jabari Rice, the transfer. Watch Jabari Rice. It's just his moves, a step back. He has been. It's just fun. I don't want to just watch him. Watch Jabari Rice and how he creates his own shots. This offense is made for players like him. That's why I'm saying to people, they have the pieces. And you just go down the list. They have the depth. Marcus Carr, like he saw, hit that 3 that gave the Horns the lead. And I'm going to play off what Tes said. I know it may be a little expensive. I get it. Work your network. Get into the Moody Center for a game. It is well worth it, regardless if you have to pay $30 a park. It's worth it. Uber from your house, for God's sakes. Do something.
Actually, I recommend Ubering from your house because then you can get dropped off right on one of the entrances. Because if you do park when you go to Moody Center, I mean, not that walking's bad. I'm just saying that nothing is close to the entrance.
Yeah. Guess what arrived? And I have to just hey. So it's no secret I have 2 cats. I was a dog guy, but these were part of my divorce settlement 10 years ago. This is Chloe and Vince welcoming the new arrival. That being Bijan.
You got a diamond. You got. I'm not gonna say the P word. She got
Chloe and Vince. Dijon approved. They didn't lick the mustard. I don't want to cause any kind of puke on the floor, but man, what a great setup from Bijan Mustardson, the company. Got the hat.
I love the hat. I'm going to have to buy the hat.
Yeah, the hat is phenomenal.
I think I'm going to get the hat. Oh, I like the hat.
You like that? I like it.
Yeah, that's nice.
I like it.
and I don't have many. I like to kind of keep my hat collection, with a variety, and I don't have that many black hats. So I like to have several different colors and things. So Bijan, I'm going to be ordering one of your hats.
Hey, and we both know Bijan Mustardson. It's really good. I'm not lying.
Ron puts it on his cock dog.
My cock dog. Yeah. So, yeah, it's like a touchdown in your mouth. So TikTok it's not like I'm on it all the time, but there's this young lady. Her name's Robin. She's in Arizona. She is a golf cart. I'm going to say golf cart girl. You need to follow her. Absolutely hilarious. Next level humor like Tes Sawyer has. Very sarcastic. She's very talented. She's an artist as well. So people will commission her to paint photos onto a canvas. I mean, this girl is freaking hilarious. She makes fun of herself, makes fun of other people. She has developed a following out on the golf course in Arizona.
Oh, I bet.
And yeah. And all the men and women love her. And she really makes fun of her self-deprecating humor. So she had her clients. She noticed something that there's a lot of errant balls on the course. And so she's kind of the contributor to the video I'm about to show and the TikTok of the week. This is the young lady that I'm talking about. It was funny to me, but what's funny to me isn't always funny to everyone else. Let's call her America's favorite golf cart girl. Just look at the message.
Sometimes I watch the golfers golf and wonder why there aren't dodgeball courses too.
Funny. You need a dodgeball course is a must. Never thought about it.
Well, I mean, I guess you could decide if it needs to be a professional sport, number one.
Well, there was a movie.
Yeah, Ben Stiller.
Mm-hmm. We need a professional. You know what was better? Did you ever play German dodgeball back in the day?
No.
Oh my God, that place, that game where you gotta guard a pin, like a bowling pin. It's 3 of them.
I never really liked dodgeball. I was really little when I was that age, and people would always just nail the shit out of me, and I would like fall over, and it wasn't fun.
You got to learn to catch it. Just hand. You got hand.
No, I was too little. I was too little and too slow, and people just nailed me. So I would just like get over there and get pegged so I could just go sit on the side and, I don't know, daydream or do something more constructive.
But Tess Sawyer is athletic. I do have to admit that. You're an athletic chick. Okay. So this is what made it was between Robin's, one of her videos, or another TikTok video that I found with Chris Sims back when he was trying to make, or he was with the Bucks, I think, and John Gruden was the coach. Well, this is funny. This is Robin. She's the golf cart girl I was telling you about.
Mm-hmm.
This is funny. She and her, I don't know what event it was in Arizona, but they were talking about, it was I guess it was a tournament that, and the woman she's with, just the sarcasm is absolutely 100.
It's the best shot I've seen all day. Nice. It's the best shot I've seen all day. That eagle had eyes on it.
Oh, nice.
That dog's gonna hunt.
Right. Zero interest. You don't want to hurt the male golfer's self-esteem. Well done. Well done.
It's okay, Robin. It's pretty boring. That's why people have beverages from the golf cart.
Yeah. Tess, I highly recommend you follow her. You'll enjoy it.
I will do it immediately.
You'll thank me later. Let's put a wrap on things. How about it? Shall we?
Shall we? Let's do that.
Let's do that.
Hey, man. Tell me something good.
Tess Sawyer, positivity is the only route to end. And it's the only way we should program our mindset is to have positive thoughts, because positive thoughts create positive outcomes. Tell me something good.
Yeah, I think I might have floundered a little bit on New Year's resolutions. I don't know why it took me the first 2 weeks of January to even come up with any. But I feel like I have a few now, and I'm a pretty, when I put my mind to it, I stick to it type of person. And I think I'm going to be good at some of my New Year's resolutions. And of course, I'm not going to be too hard on myself. So it's not, it's okay if I slip and fall a little bit here and there, but I'm excited for my New Year's resolutions. And I think it will only bring me more success in all areas of my life, professional and personal. So I'm kind of excited about that and to get those going. And yeah, it's a good thing.
No, for what I know about you, you'll succeed. You're gonna find a way to succeed. You'll fall. We'll all fall, but you don't allow failures to dictate your future. I know that for a fact. It might tell me something good. And as you see from the picture right here, Damar Hamlin, beautiful picture. Love this on it. And it says the quote, when he regained his stability and his cognitive ability to realize what had happened from the Buffalo Bills, his quote, "Did we win?" And that is absolutely, I love this shirt. And that is something good, because it seemed like the entire country, at least on social media, was rallying around this young man, and it really brought people together.
So, Damar Hamlin, amazing. I am so glad to hear the news of his recovery, his speedy recovery, and I'm so glad he's doing well. And what a story. And what it was really neat to see everybody connecting. Yeah. All different types of people connecting based on DeMar's injury, unfortunately, and then now his recovery.
Oh, it's nothing but motivating and shows you what we're all capable of if we just look at everything from a human point of view of just what can I do for somebody else, or put others before ourselves and quit being the central focus of the universe is not around us ever. Shouldn't be.
Right.
What you got to do, look out after yourself though, because nobody else will. I will say that. That's the only selfish part I'll ever say. But Damar Hamlin, man, proud of you, big guy. We all are, man. What an inspiration, and the way that the football family has really revealed itself and has been supportive, and for the majority of the fans, man, beautiful, beautiful thing. Tes, until next week, have a great rest of your weekend.
You too. Hook 'em.
Hook 'em, yeah. So for the Tes Sawyer and the OG Man Cave boys, and even the pride of Shreveport, that being Big Stevie Lee, we out.